All right. Welcome. I'm just feeling compelled to pull some cards for this upcoming Mercury retrograde. I don't have anything in particular that I'm looking for. I think I'm just going to pull 4 and see what happens. But what I'd really like to do is talk about this, right? So Mercury's going retrograde at 11 Scorpio on the 13th of October, 2020. And he stays retrograde until November the 3rd, which is the election day here in the States. I've been talking about this for a while. And so Mercury stations all the way back to 25 Libra, right? And he turns direct at 11:50 Central Time on election day. And I think we've talked about this. The last time there was a Mercury retrograde over an election cycle, it was the 2000 election cycle. Al Gore and the Hanging Chads, right? That one was in the midst of a Mercury retrograde, not on the day that it turned direct. Like that is going to make a big difference, right? It will. It'll make a difference. We'll see what, right? So okay. So let's go here. So this Mercury retrograde starts in opposition to a Taurus Uranus. Okay. So we're talking about Scorpio energy and Taurus energy, right? And this is an important polarity, right? It's about pulling that energy of being firmly rooted to the point of immobility into the future, right? And there are a few ways to do that. We can allow the energy to be stagnant out of fear, right? Which is a Taurus concern, right? Tauruses, they like to stay where they are because they're security based. And as that security, they believe that sometimes inaction, rootedness, groundedness means we never move, right? My dad was a Taurus. He was a great example of a Taurus. But it kept him very grounded and immobile. Now that's a beautiful thing. But you don't change, you don't grow when you're that kind of rooted, right? And so Scorpio is all about transformation. And union, right? How we become that nebulous third thing as we go into, surrender to union with the other, right? So there are some issues regarding loyalty and trust and exposure and vulnerability in this polarity, right? That we need to really be aware of, especially during this time. Alrighty then. And so there's a lot of stuff that goes on, right? We've got some activities with Chiron, and we've got activities with our big boys, right? With Saturn and Pluto and Jupiter. The moon comes into play at one point, and so Mercury backs all the way up to 25 Libra, right? On that full moon at Halloween, we have got the moon and Uranus conjunct at 8 degrees Taurus. opposing the sun at 8 degrees Scorpio. We will have a 26-degree Libra Mercury squaring a 26-degree Capricorn Saturn. So that's about balance in one's restrictions, right? How do we use this energy? How do we make it work in terms of our function? Right? We'll be challenged in that way. How do we balance it? It's hard. It's going to be hard to really discern how to create that balance. We also have, at that full moon time, during this Mercury retrograde, a 5-degree Chiron that will be opposite a 4-degree Libra Venus. So that's about how do we allow how do we allow ourselves to be led by spirit rather than our wounds, right? There's just so much going on. It's going to be more important than ever to really embrace the energy of this Mercury retrograde. And so what do retrogrades really ask us to do, right? They give us time, they give us space to breathe. Now, we need that. And the reason that we need it is because, there's so much pressure in all of these big energies that we're dealing with right now. Mars is retrograde in Aries right now. Mars is retrograde in Aries. Yes, that's correct. I said it fast and I didn't think about it, so there's just a lot of breathing room will be a good thing, right? Because we really need to be clear in our communications. We need to witness those places where our security, right, our groundedness in our fears for our own security and stability, our fears about our own resources, Taurus, right? Aries, our Uranus and Taurus, are keeping us from being able to expand, to transform into new ways, into creating union in a different way, right? So Mercury and Uranus are all about communication, right? Mercury is about direct communication, the way you express a thing, the way you write, the way you type, the way you think, or the way you gather information. And then Uranus is that higher level collective communication, right? It's about electronics and the internet and computers and things like that. Anybody who thinks that it's coincidental that this is going to, that Mercury is going to go direct in full opposition to a Uranus Taurus on the election day has not been paying attention. Okay, let's talk. So we've got the Knight of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords, right? The Knight of Pentacles is all about slow progress, forward motion. This is that the big boys in Capricorn, right? We're moving cautiously and carefully, but we're moving. The Seven of Swords is about, it can be about deception, right? But it can also, this card is a little nefarious, right? It can also be about balancing ideas, okay? So we're going to roll with that interpretation simply because that's how I feel it today. So this is about really balancing your ideas and your expression. I mean, look at, we got Taurus, Uranus, and that Scorpio Mercury, right? Because who is more dangerous than a Scorpio, right? That tail comes around and it's a sword, it's a stinger, it will stab you. So this is about being cautious and gathering information properly and thoroughly and correctly, right? This is about coming correct, 100%. So we've got the Empress and the Ace of Pentacles. The Empress, she is all the queens rolled into one, right? So she's the fullest expression of ideas, the fullest expression of abundance, the fullest expression of passion, the fullest expression of, I'm forgetting one, but I'm not sure which one it is. It's all good. You know what I'm saying. So she's the fullest expression of all those things. She is abundance. She is seeds. She's planting for the future, right? What better way to clarify than to have this Ace of Pentacles here? New ways of resourcing, right? Taurus, Uranus. You have to be okay with creating new things, especially when you're trusting the new cycles, right? You have to know that new things are coming, and it's okay to plant anew. That just because it's new and you're used to the way that you've expressed a thing doesn't mean that something new won't be worth the risk, right? Every seed that breaks itself open takes a risk. Every little egg has to break from the inside in order to stay alive and grow. Otherwise, if it breaks from the outside, you get scrambled eggs, man. I mean, so this is about trust. It's about knowing that what you're planting is coming. So we've got a Two of Wands and a Seven of Cups. All right, so the Two of Wands is about having options, right? We're inspired by perhaps more than one thing, right? We've got a lot of ideas. So which is the best one? Well, clearly there's one that's better, right? The heart-based one is always going to lead you in the right direction. Seven of Cups, no accident. We have a lot of options, many, many options. Each may be equally enchanting, but one is right. One is correct. One is coming correct, right? And so it's allowing your heart, cups are all about the heart, right? Allowing your heart to discern that and knowing that with it comes the world, right? This is the emotional choice over here. These are the mountains that we're leaving behind, the challenges. We're moving in to this emotionally correct, blooming choice because we discerned which one it was, right? We took that time, that quiet time. So we got the Three of Pentacles and the Five of Cups. So the Three of Pentacles is all about working together, right? It's all about coming together in that collective consciousness mode, right? Creating new ways of doing things, creating new ways of expressing yourself so that everyone is served, not just you. And the Five of Cups, always an interesting card, right? This is a person who's making a choice to see three spilled cups and ignore two full cups that are behind them. Those two cups represent union. Those two cups represent love, divine love, right? Right? These are bridges we've crossed. Spilled cups. If you focus on the spilled cups, if you focus on the old stuff, you absolutely miss what's coming in for you. This potential for divine union. This potential to create something new, to create something new, knowing that success is assured. Y'all. You know, Mercury also squares Saturn in the middle of all this. And squaring Saturn is all about, again, we talk about this. Yeah, I just love the universe. Squaring Saturn creates an opportunity to really, really, really stand in your awareness of how serving yourself serves everything, right? Creating your own boundaries and rules. Knowing where to go, what to do, by your own discernment, right? Your own discernment. So what we got here, y'all? Number 33, the Camel Boy, small steps asking for help. The Camel Boy reminds you that asking for help will bring in the right people to ease the burdens of your life. Perhaps a wise person appears to give you advice. Maybe you're moving and suddenly a couple of friends offer to give you a hand with your packing. Or you want information about someone and you just happen to run into his former partner who gives you the knowledge you need to make the decisions you've been weighing. No matter the issue, this is a sign that if you ask, you will receive what you need. Synchronicity is engaged when you request assistance. The Camel Boy never lets you down when you ask for help in lightening your load. Now is the time to do so and expect to get it. So, small steps. Asking for help, right? Knowing that taking small steps, taking those measured steps will get you exactly where you want to go. And that knowing that planting those seeds along the way is going to net you everything you're hoping. We're not even going to say hoping. Everything you're intending, right? Everything you're expecting, right? This is about expectation and knowing that your expectations will be realized. Knowing that you've made your choices and what you've learned along the way has allowed you to make those next right choices, and knowing that all the people who need to show up will show up and usher you in. Usher you in. Right? It's not about what has been, Taurus. It's about what can be, Uranus. It's why Taurus and Uranus is so challenging, because it's opposing energy, in all honesty, in my opinion. So this Mercury retrograde is going to be a big, big opportunity. We will talk more about it. If you have any questions, you probably know where to find me. If not, just a little search will net you miracles. Anyway, blessings. Mercury goes retrograde tomorrow, guys. So be ready. Keep doing the work. Blessings.